Okay. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. Molly came and spent the day with me today, and I was going to leave for Pennsylvania, and so she offered to host, which I'm super, super thankful for, and we haven't left yet, but she still has an awesome topic, so she is so graciously going to talk to you guys. So Molly and I, this is a really funny story. If you have a significant other, you want to keep them in the loop of Beachbody. They need to know enough to get by that if somebody talks about something, they know what they're talking about, what at least in the ballpark of what they're saying, and that they can get that person to you as a referral. So Molly and Matt were both restaurant managers, and worked their life away. And Molly basically was like, Matt, I've gained 20 pounds. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a 21-day fix, and I'm going to drink Shakeology, and I'm going to lose it all. And he was like, my wife sells that. You should get, and then he got her number, and then I sent her a message or something. He's like, my wife sells that. You should talk to her. And so it was funny because he knew just enough. Like that was what I sell. At least he knew the name of it, And so then I reached out to her, and she's still in my phone as I don't want to say your company, but she's still in my phone as Molly, and then the name of her restaurant. And when she quits her job, I'm going to change it to Molly Trumpler. And so once Molly started as a challenger, she created a binder for her 21-day fix and was logging all of her meals. And I was just in awe. I was like, this girl is so type A. I love her. She needs to be a coach. So then after her, invited her there, she became a coach, and she is one of our diamonds and successful coaches on our team. So she is a success starter. So that means in her first 3 months as a coach, she got Success Club and won a free ticket to Summit, which was in Nashville. So that's really cool. She's a diamond. She's a SC5 All-Star. So that means she has hit Success Club 5 for an entire year straight. She's lost 20 pounds through the 21-day fix. She's always posting about her journey. She just posted one, was it yesterday? It was really good. I haven't seen your story in so long. So that reminded me to say good job, but you need to do that more because I haven't seen that before picture of you in so long. She's quit, her restaurant management position and is now able to get, hours of her life back because she's not working 65 hours a week. She's, being able to pick her schedule now. So she works about 25, 30 hours a week versus the 65. She's a fur mama to Ryder. I got to spend time with him today. He's such a cutie. And she's been coaching for 17 months. So Molly is so fun, and you need to go, stalk her page. I don't know. I tell people not to friend people because our team is so big. If every single new coach friended us, we would be like, So follow her. You don't have to click friend, but click follow so you can see her fun posts. She's always posting funny, silly things. We always say you really want to be that person that if somebody meets you in real life, they feel, the same way about you that they do on social media. So, look at her page. She's really good at posting and being herself and talking to her target market. So Molly's going to talk about what to do when, oh crap, I didn't write that down. What to do when you're hit a slump in your business? What did you tell me?
Yeah, essentially. How to get through the drought.
That's it. I wrote everything else down for that. So September was a rough month for a lot of us. That was that's kind of usually a slow month for us with Beachbody. And so this was perfect timing. So he's going to talk to us about, how to get through that, hump. Everybody. Okay, and then I unmuted you, Molly. All right, so without further ado, Molly, go ahead. We're excited to hear from you.
Yay, thank you so much. That was super sweet. Nice to meet you all if I've never met you. But yeah, we're going to be talking about how to get through the drought in our business. And just in case, a drought is basically when there's a lack of something like rain or whatever it is. For us, it's a lack of business. I don't want to assume anybody, stop laughing at me. I don't want to assume anybody knows what that means. So yeah, so as April said, September is generally a super, super slow month for people who are in the health and fitness industry. So I'm sure y'all have experienced that like I have. And this is kind of, you know, something that I was struggling with. So I figured if I was struggling with it, y'all are probably struggling with it as well. So why not talk about it? So first, I just want to ask, and I probably know the answer, just raise your hand if you feel like you totally freaking bombed September. I do. And by bombed, I don't mean like, I didn't hit anything. I didn't sell anything. But even if you didn't hit your goals or it just really wasn't what you thought it was going to be, that was definitely me. And obviously it was all of you too. So yes, we're in the slow season for Beachbody, but I also am going to talk about self-inflicted drought as well, because that is such a thing that I experience a lot. And for newer coaches, and you're probably like super excited and gung-ho, keep this in mind for when this starts to happen to you, because it's not always rainbows and butterflies like we try to make it seem. And the best thing you can do is be real with yourself. So that's what we're going to learn how to do today. So first and foremost, droughts happen. I just need to put that in like a huge banner. Droughts are going to happen. Just like in any business, there's a slow season, there's a fast season, and even in your mind, you have a slow season and a fast season. So like I said, it can be a business cycle or it can be self-inflicted, but you absolutely cannot let a drought define you, and can't especially let it define your business. The example that I want to use for any of you retail people out there or service industry, restaurant people who can relate to this, September is a slow month for people who work in the restaurant industry as well. Why? Because people are back to school. They're off of summer break. They don't have time to go out and spend money. The last thing they're thinking about is going out to eat. Do all restaurants just shut down and say, well, no one's walking in the door, I guess we better close business? No, that doesn't happen. They still stay open and they still do what they have to do to get people walking in the door. And you need to think of your business as a business, because that's what it is, and you need to treat it the same way. Sure, not as many people are reaching out to you. Maybe not as many people are responding to you. Not as many people are interested because they have busy lives. They might be moms whose kids are going back to school, they're going back to work, if they're teachers, whatever it might be. So you cannot let that define you and break you. So that's rule number one. So just get that out of your head. And so it's obvious why it's a slow season for fitness. The main reason, in my opinion, is that by this time throughout the year, if people haven't reached their fitness goals, they don't really care anymore. It's not summer anymore. They're not going to be wearing bathing suits. All the holidays are coming up, all the yummy food. They're just going to kind of coast through and then wait till New Year's, right? That's what I'm sure we all used to do at one point or another. But if you are one of the people who is self-inflicting the drought on you, and I'm getting all of this from a call that I watched today, because you should be doing personal development every day. I watched a video from Scotty Hobbs' team call. If you don't follow top coaches on YouTube, that's probably the best way to follow them, so that way they're not spamming your Facebook friends with all of their posts. But most top coaches put all of their team calls on YouTube. And he had Kim Carver host one. And this is where I'm getting this information from. So I'd love for you guys to think that I was a genius that made this up, but I'm not. So essentially he said there's two types of people in this business. There are pushers and there are pausers. And I'm going to tell you what each one is. And I would love it if either raise of hand or in the chat you could write down which one you are, or in your notebook because I'm going to give you tips for each type of person. So basically, a pusher is someone who pushes super, super hard. We're talking like 200% from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. But that type of person gets burnt out fast at the end of the year. So you've probably pushed from January till now as hard as you possibly can, inviting, forming everything. And now you're probably feeling really tired, really burnt out, feeling like there's no one left to talk to. Can I get an amen? Danielle Mullen, I know that's you. So that's one type of person. The other type of person is what he calls a pauser. Now, this person did work really hard. They started off really strong, but then summer came around and they started doing fun things, and they kind of slipped out of their good habits. And once they slipped out of their good habits, with every month that progresses, it became easier and easier to become more lenient and more lenient. That's me. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm a pauser. So take a second, think about which one you are. And I'd love for you to write it in the chat so that way I can make sure to talk to you guys specifically. Pauser or pusher, what are you? Or you can just say it out loud. That works too. Nobody's anything? That's good. I'm a pauser. I'll write it too. Pauser. Rachel's a pauser. Nicole's a pusher. Danielle's a pusher. April says she's a pusher. Okay, so cool. Then I'm talking to everybody for this. So first I'm going to talk about Megan's a pauser. Like attracts like. So first I'm going to talk about pushers and give you kind of step-by-step ways to get through your drought. So basically that burnt out feeling that you're experiencing right now. So step one for both pushers and pausers is obviously trying to defy the drought, which we just did. So you're burnt out. So step two is you need to learn how to manage your emotional energy, and you need to learn how to replenish your energy. So the main question you need to ask yourself is, have you put too much out there, and are you saying yes to too many things? So are you so gung-ho that you're starting here, and then you add another layer to your business and another layer to your business and another and another and another and another because you don't know how to say no to anything? You need to learn how to kind of tone that back. I totally understand you wanting to do everything. You're excited. You want to hit SE10 every single month. But at some point, you have to recognize when too much is too much. So if you don't mind, I'm going to pass it over to Melanie Mitro right now and share my screen. Can someone remind me how to do that? Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you an example of what burning yourself out looks like physically. Can you see my screen? Should be like a weird road thing. Okay, so here's a lovely picture of our favorite coach, Melanie Mitro, right? She looks beautiful. She's happy, dream team. So what happens when this is her running her business, we'll say at a level 6, okay? So next, what happens is she wants to kick it up a notch. She wants to go to level 7. So that's what she looks like when she goes to level 7. So I use what is that? Picture 365, perfect 365. And she added a layer to her business by adding nice bright green lipstick on, right? But that's not enough for her. So now she needs level 8. And she goes and has a really nice, beautiful rouge blush. And she does pretty good with that, and she's ready to push herself even more. So then we go to the eyes, and she's looking super fierce, right? Level 9, she starts to contour her nose and everything. And then level 10 and above, she goes and changes her hair. And now, if you look at her, is this Melanie Mitro? No. This is not the Melanie Mitro we know and love, because what happened is she didn't know how to say no to anything. So now she's not even herself when she's talking. She looks desperate. And that's how you're coming off to your potential clients right now. You're coming off as desperate because you are trying way too hard. Does that make sense? I thought that was kind of cute, but that's just me. So stop trying too hard and keep being yourself. Take it from a level 15 back to a level 7 and learn how to breathe. In order to do that, we always talk about going back to basics, your 4 vital behaviors. Get used to staying away from perfection. I understand that these are the type A people who just who probably, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, maybe even writing a post, and you spend a freaking hour writing that post and editing that picture and making sure the word is just right. And you started writing a post at 6, all of a sudden it's 7:30 and you're like, yes, I can click post. And what happens? Crickets. Even the next morning you look and you have 3 likes on this perfect post because you're thinking too hard about it. Just be yourself. Just know that too much can hurt you. And then when I talked about learning how to replenish your energy, it is okay to put away your phone. It is okay and necessary. Find something that you love to do that is not Beachbody related and go out and do it, whatever that might be. If you want to go to the dog park with your dogs, do not bring your phone. Do not bring your iPad. Do not bring your computer. Just bring you and your dogs. If you want to go paint or I don't know what you like to do, go dancing, whatever it is, do that and unplug. You don't have to post about it 24/7. That's how you're going to replenish yourself. So those are some tips for all my pushers out there to help you not be so burnt out. And then the exact opposite, the pausers who have kind of lost their way and really aren't trying very hard at all, you need to get comfortable in knowing that A, you're not alone. You're not the only one who is slacking right now, and that it's already done. You cannot go back in time and rewrite what you didn't do. So get over it. It's done. Move on. Get rid of the guilt. That's step number 1. That's probably the hardest part for me as a pauser, is because I know all the things I could have, should have, would have done, but I didn't do them, and I need to get over it. So step number 2, super important, rediscover your why. We talk about this all the freaking time, but there's a reason why your why is so important, is because it's what keeps you trucking along. And the reason I say rediscover your why is because, and I know April talks about this a lot, and I talk about this a lot to her, is that your why when you first started coaching is probably not the same today. Whether you just started coaching 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago, whatever, you are always changing. So your why is always changing. For me, my why, as April knows, is I wanted to quit my management job. And guess what? I was hitting SE12, SE whatever, all those months until I was able to quit my management job. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I was able to say I did it, I couldn't get anyone to buy a challenge pack for me for the life of me, because my why was no longer there. I didn't have a reason. You know what I mean? So I needed to rediscover my why. And you guys probably need to do the same thing. Reevaluate your life and figure out what is going to push you from here on out. And you should probably be doing this every month, to be completely honest, because things change, life happens. And then part of rediscovering your why is you need to rediscover your sense of urgency, because that's what we've lost along the way as well as a pauser. So the question you need to ask yourself, and please write this down, why does Danielle have a light bulb moment? Sorry, I'm interrupting myself. I just saw that. Why do you have a light bulb moment?
The Melanie Mitchell, like the getting away from yourself.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was clever. But anyway, in order to gain your sense of urgency back, you need to ask yourself, what am I missing by sitting on the sidelines? And I asked myself this, and I realized what I was missing. I had a girlfriend who I've known for years. I used to work at the restaurant with. She just Snapchatted me her Shakeology, literally her Shakeology, and said, so excited to try this and get healthy. That was her caption. I did not sell her that Shakeology. Okay? Like, hello. But she Snapchatted it to me because she knew that I was a Beachbody coach and would appreciate that. And I'm like, oh my God, what the F is wrong with me? Like, seriously. Because I've always thought about asking her, but I just never did for one reason or another, because I got lazy, because I got complacent, and I stopped doing my vital behaviors. And now she is happy and healthy and drinking her Shakeology, and it could have been with me, but it's not. So that's what you're missing when you sit on the sidelines, okay? And then it's one thing to rediscover your why and rediscover your urgency, but the last step for a pauser is to learn how to keep those things present in your life. And in order to do that, you need to teach yourself discipline. So I forget who mentioned this to me before, but discipline is not something you're born with. You have to teach it to yourself. And the example that I think of is, I don't know if there's any, well, I know there are some parents out there, and maybe Ashley, you can relate to this, or Nicole or Rachel, I'm not sure if you have any kids, or Sarah or Tiffany, but is it hard to get your kids to eat vegetables? Sure it is. I was like that when I was a kid. My mom would always say to me, you can't have dessert unless you eat 5 more pieces of carrots. And I would moan and groan and be like, oh, okay. I would shovel them around on my plate and slowly eat 5 more pieces of carrots. And then I got dessert. Do that with yourself. Tell yourself you cannot go out and have a glass of wine. You cannot go to dinner. You can't catch up on American Horror Story or whatever it is until you do your 5 invites for the day. That is going to teach you self-discipline. So whatever it is you want to do that day, you're not going to be allowed to do it until you're done. And guess what? That's what we have power hours for. It's super fast, super convenient. Get your shit done and move on with your day. It's very easy. So that is for my pausers. Now, for both of you, I need you guys to recognize that this has to start right now. And I mean this very second. How many of you feel super amped up after a team call, or after you just listened to the most amazing personal development, or you just got back home from Summit and you're like, yes, I can conquer the world? Like, that's seriously how you feel, right? So, but guess what? You have, and this is literally a fact, you have 2 hours from this second to get your game plan going and start. Otherwise, that fire that's lit under your butt right now will be gone. So if you don't do it now, you have the next 2 hours to set your game plan. Otherwise, you're lost. And this was a complete waste of your time. So I need you to start right now. There was a quote that I read today, and I actually thought it was the coolest thing ever. It's the start that stops most people. And now when you listen to that, that doesn't really make sense. But when you think about everything that we've talked about, it really does. So for the pushers, it's the start that stops most people, because you guys are going so fast all the time that really amped up start causes you to finish really horribly because you're just too tired. And for the pausers, it's that mindset that the longer you hold a weight on your shoulder, the heavier it becomes. So why not just do it, let it go, and move on? So you have to think about that. And then lastly, what I want to leave you guys with, and feel free to ask any questions, or if you guys have more ideas to add to this list, I came up with a few ideas for all of us Beachbody coaches to implement to help us push through these slow seasons. And these were things that I was learning through my personal development today. There's a good, I can share it, I watched at April's. There's a really good short video, it's only like 6 minutes, from Melanie about, how to get people interested in the downtime. So one, you need to keep growing your list. super, super important. Just because it's low and maybe nobody wants to join you on your journey doesn't mean you need to stop asking people or forming people and building relationships. Since it is slow, you have a lot of time to build really awesome relationships. That should be your main point right now. So that way, the next month, you have so many people to invite, right? Maybe they don't want to do it now, but you just became best friends with them in an entire month. You know what their job is, you know what their kids' names are, you know how old they are, you know what their favorite food is, whatever it might be. You guys are best friends, and they're going to want to join you next month. Get customer feedback would be another idea. So get back into your old challengers and just simply ask them, like, hey, you were so amazing in our last challenge group, and I was just wondering if you could do me a favor and let me know like what your results were or what you really enjoyed about the program, and then share those on your Facebook page. Or, you know, just brag about somebody. The best testimonials you can use are yourselves and your actual challengers, as opposed to some random person on the internet that you've never heard of before. So get feedback and share that with others. And this is a cool one. You still need to create remarkable content, but learn how to create remarkable content with an off-season twist. So what I mean by that, and I'm going to use myself as an example, I know a lot of my fellow diamonds out there know that I've been going through a really hard couple of months, and instead of hiding from it, and instead of trying to put on a picturesque fairy tale, life for my audience, I've been super real about it. This is my off season. I'm not normally a downer. I'm rarely ever negative. If you know me, that's just not who I am. But that's what I have been lately. So that's what I consider my drought. My drought is that I just have zero idea how to be positive anymore. So that's my off season, and I am talking about it, and I am making relatable content, remarkable content, and I'm also building value to the people that I'm sharing it with, because I'm letting them know that they're not alone, that I'm going through it too, and giving some advice or whatever it might be. So think about your, what we're going to call it is what they call it on the call, a super niche. So you already have your niche, aka your target market. Hone in on that even more. What is your target market experiencing right now in the slow season? So if you're a mom and obviously you have kids going back to school, you would start maybe a back to school challenge group, right? Something like that. Or if you're me, and because I am a bartender and I work in restaurants and it's super slow right now and I just don't have any extra money to spend, it would probably be wise if I started a challenge group where I taught people how to find super cheap meal plans that will actually end up helping them save money, right? So that would be an idea. So think about something that your market is going through right now and figure out how you can cater to them in the off season. And then when all else fails, provide off-season hype and promotions. Don't be afraid to go out there and don't be super spammy about it and be like, I'm giving you half off only today. Like, no, you don't do that. But offer some sort of freemium. Make the value just that much higher. We already know that our programs and our challenge packs offer a really great value, but what can you personally add to that? Maybe it's a free shaker cup, maybe it's a fixate cookbook, maybe it's you have a meal plan that you already created for yourself, so you're going to just go ahead and share it with your clients, and do it without expecting anything in return. Don't throw things at them and be like, well, if you do this, I'll give you that. No, just do it for free and add value to people and the conversations that you're having, and eventually they will come back to you. Those are just a few ideas that I had. If you guys have any more, please feel free to add. But I read a lot of things today, so this is the very last sentence that I'm going to leave you with in hopes that it will kick your butt into gear. But it is that I promise you this, there is still one person out there that needs your help. There is still one person out there, so go find them. And that's what I have for you today. Thank you.
That was so good. I love that. And so tell us how you found the Kim Carver. You said that was he hosted Scotty Hobbs' call?
Yep, it's on YouTube. It's on Scotty Hobbs' YouTube page under Team Calls. I literally think it's called that's why I titled ours, How to Get Through the Drought.
I love that. And so did you get do you subscribe to Scotty Hobbs so it gave you a notification that you posted it?
Yeah, if you subscribe to Top Coaches, you're going to get a notification when they upload a new video or whatever it might be, or you can just totally stalk their page and it'll just be a list of all of their stuff. So pick your favorite coaches, and I think it's smarter to do it this way than as opposed to Facebook, because for you new coaches out there, if you follow a top coach on Facebook, they do ads all the time, and their ads are going to show up on your friends' pages, and you don't want that. You want you to show up on your friends' pages, not #1 top beach buddy coach in the entire country in Canada, because how do you compete with that? I mean, you compete with that because you can relate to them, but you don't want their ads spamming your friends. So there are other ways that you can follow them. They probably have YouTube pages, Pinterest pages, blogs, websites, everything. Get inspiration from that. Or just make a list of your top 5 coaches and be sure that you put that on your Power Hour. Just type them in, put them on in your Facebook page, and see what they've done in the last couple days. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Molly. That was so good and so true, and something that we don't really talk about a lot because it's really easy to, and I want to use Nicole as an example. Nicole is a new coach. She is like gung-ho, 1,000 miles a minute. Don't even know how she finds time to do everything she does. She's having a ton of success. She's talking to a ton of people, but we don't want you to get burnt out either. Because I see a ton of coaches that do that. And then they're like, okay, I'm so stressed out. I don't have time for this, because you've ignored everything and you've only focused on Beachbody. So you need to just make sure that you are focusing on, having set power hours, having set family time where you put your phone away, not like living from your phone. Because also you have loved ones that will, start to be like, what is this Beachbody thing? I feel like all you do is you're on your phone and you ignore me and blah, 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 blah. And you also don't want that end of the spectrum. And take it from me, that was me for 2 years. I ignored my husband. We probably had a fight about it. And we don't fight about we rarely ever fight. But our one fight that was recurring was me ignoring him. And it wasn't even like a fight. It was just like him feeling frustrated because he had to keep bringing it up. Like, I remember one time my light bulb moment was, he was like, you either put your phone away or we're not watching this, because I'm not watching another movie by myself. And that to me was like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you have this guy that is perfect. Like, don't keep having to make him feel like he's number 2. So for me, so much of my personal development was business. And it wasn't until this year that I finally realized my personal development needs to be family oriented. I need to focus on putting me and my relationships first and my business second. So I know a lot of you are moms, and that probably comes easier to you because I didn't have kids. It was just, I was selfish. It was me. I wanted to be successful, and that's all I focused on. So just make sure you're being mindful of your time. If you have to get up earlier and do a power hour, Ashley Lindsay, who's sitting on this call, has 3 babies under 3 years old and gets up, yeah, there they are. Oh my gosh. She's got her, your 10-year-old niece there helping you to babysit. So she is, just awesome. She knows what she has to do to make it work. So she gets up early and does it. And, her husband is going to school full time. They took a huge pay cut because he's literally going to school. And, you know, she could have easily been like, I can't do it. It's too much. I don't have time. I have to go get a job, blah, blah, blah. But she knew that this was her ticket to be home with her kids, to, you know, be able to be present in their life. And she does whatever she has to do to make it work. She went to Summit, like, you know, 2 weeks before she had her baby because she was like, I need to have this fire in my belly when I come back because I want to be excited to rock my business. So, you know, you have to want it, but you also, Ashley is very good at putting family first and business second, and she's still a rock star. You are only going to benefit your business when people see you as that family person or whatever your goal is. You don't want somebody to see April that works 18 hours a day and that's all she does and all she eats, breathes, and lives Beachbody. They're not willing to do that. So they're not thinking that they can join you. So you have to be a relatable person and, you know, focus on your priorities. So I want you to, Nicole, anytime you need to talk to me about, you know, time blocking or whatever, I just don't want anybody to be so gung-ho that they're burnt out because I did that. And, you know, you don't want anybody that to resent Beachbody because you love it and you're so passionate about it. They are not going to be as passionate about it if it's this thing that's constantly taking you away from them. So that's kind of really important too, but also be very mindful, keep your, you know, significant other or friends, family, whatever in the loop, like, oh, I saw the challenge back, or I hit my big goal, or, you know, whatever it is, and let them be your cheerleader. But, also know that they probably don't want to hear you blab for hours on end about it either. So just kind of finding a fine line of making sure that people are feeling like they are a part of it too. You know, I don't just see it as this is my business, like this is our business, because I couldn't be successful if I hadn't had Matt there to let me, you know, quit my job and, you know, things like that. So it truly is, you know, something that I feel, you know, is a partnership. And so I just kind of, that was kind of what I was thinking from that. My takeaway from this was also, it's not just about, you know, being that pusher and you getting burnout. It's also, you know, how it can also affect your relationship. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there, but loved it. Molly, who has questions for Molly or anything else that they want to ask or talk about? Anything?
I think
I do.
Being a pusher. Yeah, go ahead. Hi, Nicole. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. So, yeah, no, I think that this was like the perfect call, the perfect time. And thank you so much, April and Molly, for sharing all this. Like, I know April knows that last month was really, really hard for me. I'm only in my 3rd month now coaching. In my 1st month, I did awesome without even having to try. Like, I just shared my story and people wanted to join me. And it was mostly friends and family, but I had Success Club 10. Last month, I had Success Club 0. And this month, I've already signed up 6 people. Mm-hmm. But I never quit. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it was all because of my amazing teammates and leaders just kept pushing me and motivating me. And I love that I took the advice from April about the family time. And we actually just recently made a rule in our house that, because my husband's really bad at it too, and we have an hour after we put this little guy to sleep at night to whatever we got to do for the day on our phones, and then our phones are off. They're going to be upstairs charged in the room, and it's just us time. People can wait for me to respond to them. I was super go my last month, and it was all Beachbody, and I kind of lost a little bit of myself in it. I think that's part of the reason why I didn't succeed. And I've started to go backwards this month and have been sharing a lot more of this little goober and my life and my struggles. And I think that's part of like the success I'm having this month so far. Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that I'm super freaking pumped for this month's challenge group and everything, because everyone's so amazing and supportive, and I'm like so excited. But like, that was like definitely something I was struggling with, and I think that this was just perfect timing for all this. So I just want to thank you guys for sharing it.
Awesome. Yay. That's so cool. Well, that was part of what was happening for me too, and I didn't notice it myself, but just another reason for y'all to get your little butts to Diamond, because we have our own personal page, and I was asking for advice, and because I was struggling, and you know, all the Diamond girls were just like, be careful that you're not pushing too hard and you're coming off as desperate. And that's exactly what I was doing. I wasn't inviting people out of my love for the program and what it's done for me, or, you know, my desire to actually want to help people. I was doing it out of the sheer fact that I was at SC0, and what was I going to do? And even through texting, even through Facebook messaging, even through your posts or whatever, people can sense that. It is going to ooze out of your pores like sweat. And they can see it. And they can see that you're not genuinely interested in them. And I hate to admit it, but I will. That's what I was doing. And like I said, you have to get over it. And you can't feel guilty about it. And you just move on. On to the next.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough, is that go in there knowing people are going to tell you no. And don't go in there like, if this person doesn't tell me yes, then I'm not going to hit Success Club. I'm not going to pay my bills, blah, 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 blah. Like, you just need to go in there like, I have the ability to change this person's life, and I really hope they join me because they'll be awesome at it. And that's the attitude and the mindset that you have. And that's what you need to instill with your new coaches too. And I think that that's been such a big game changer. Like, Tiffany just signed up on Tuesday night, and she's already got talking to people about challenge bags and things like that. She doesn't even have her program. She's never even done the 21-day fix before. And she's talking to people about it because you can't be afraid. And I think that's one of the biggest shifts that I've had in talking to new coaches is like, just go talk to people. It doesn't matter if you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if you don't know what to say. Like, just start conversations and know that some people are going to join you. Some people are not. And the best thing that you can do is just go out there and ask people, invite people, get your feet wet with that, and get your first no. That's totally fine to get your first no. Like, that's a good thing. Failing is you not trying. A no is you failing forward. So, yeah, good job to you, Tiffany. But, use your sponsor coach. And, when you're talking to people, it doesn't matter how long you've been a coach. If you feel stuck, ask them, how do I respond to this? But also don't feel like, I have some coaches that have been coaching for a long time and are so insecure about, what do I say? Don't worry about it. In the beginning, use me, yes, but you can't always be afraid of what you might say wrong, because you just got to figure it out sometimes. And the more personal development that you do, the more people that you talk to, the better that you'll feel. But don't be so afraid of saying the wrong thing to somebody that you're not responding or not having conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Tiffany's going to be a pusher since she's already on her first call, I can tell.
Yep. I like those pushers. But yeah, you have to find a fine balance between all of it. And I think that it can definitely change, because I've gone through pauser moments as well too. But love what Molly said about your why. Make sure everybody, if you haven't wrote out your why in about a month, do it again, because your why is always evolving and always changing. And I am walking proof of that my big goal was to quit my job. And I did. And then my big goal was to help Matt quit his job. And then he did. And then it was like, okay, I don't have to check my bank account before I go to the grocery store. This is cool. And, and so we just got comfortable, and I didn't have a big goal. And it was kind of at the Diamond Retreat. We went around and everybody talked about their goals. And I realized I don't have a why that's big enough that makes me want to do it anyways when I don't feel like it. And so that's why I kind of had lost my fire. And, then pregnancy happened, and I should have been a bigger why, but it was really just me kind of getting lazy and complacent. And it wasn't until I really think this past month that I really started digging deep into my personal development, digging deep into my why, and realizing that, September was a rough month, but it wasn't so much just because of September. It was because I could have also been doing more. I was complacent. I was not talking to more people. I was kind of doing that follow-up where you follow up with those people because they said they would or they were interested. Instead of sending 3 new messages, I was following up with 3 people. So, shoulda, coulda, woulda, it's over, it's done with. But you just need to kind of own it when stuff happens and look deep inside yourself and say, why am I not motivated to do this? And how can I motivate myself? And your why and your vision is just so, so, so important. So in our Dash to Diamond group, we are reading the book, The 12-Week Year. Absolutely 100% recommend that book. It's really good
Because if you think about it, if you make a goal for 12 weeks, that is, and that's your year goal. One day is equivalent to a week in, if you were thinking about yourself actually for a year goal, but one day is equivalent to, a week, right? And a week is equivalent to a month. So, you have to get a lot more done in one day, but it's not like I need to live on my phone, I need to do this. You just need to be busy, or you need to be productive and not busy, and get your stuff done. And, Tanner, who was able to quit her job, Danielle was able to quit her job. I do this full time. And sometimes I have so much time that I'm just like, oh, well, I'll scroll through this Facebook and I'll do this and I'll do that. That I was telling Molly today, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even get my invites in today. And, so sometimes it's like, if you have too much time, you have to do like what Nicole said, like you have an hour to get it done. And I'm about to, unplug and watch a movie with Matt. So I still need to get 2 invites in. So I'm going to, after this call, give myself 15 minutes to get done what I need to have done. And then it's no phone. So, you just kind of have to give yourself time restraints. If you have too much time, sometimes it can also be, an issue as well. So, love this topic. This was so fun. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to ask or talk about?
I was just going to say that I completely agree with, and I don't know if Tanner's noticed this yet, but now that I do this full time, I feel like I have less time to actually work my business, because it's like, well, I have all day. So I get more distracted rather than when it was like, okay, I have 3 hours, so I have to get it all done.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. And I feel like Tanner is really good at time management. I know she feels that way. But Tanner, what have you, since you've quit, what has kind of helped you? Because I know you're still getting up super early to do your workouts and stuff. So what's kind of your time management tips lately that have been helping you to get your stuff done?
I plan out every second of my day. Now, I don't always stick to it, but I have that tiny calendar app, and it will sync to your Google Calendar. And literally, I don't know if you can kind of see it, but you see all those different colors?
Yeah.
Each different color means a different thing. So anything that is I don't know how to get this to show you guys, but anything that is mint is Beachbody. Anything that's red is Chaz. Anything that's purple is me. Anything that's orange is the dogs. And I have every single thing planned out. And if I don't do that, I won't follow it. And I also, this is how psycho I am, because I won't do it. I have an app called A Note. Mm-hmm. It's one that Shalane Johnson recommends, and I have a tab called Daily, and I go through when my workout's done, check. When I do my devotion, check. Morning post, check. Power hour, check. Walking my dogs, check. I even check off when I take a shower, if I take a shower. And I do that every single day. And then I have a today tab. So that's everything I need to get done today that's not part of my daily stuff. So maybe it was making recognition posts for my team. It's everything extra outside of my power hour. And things that need to be done tomorrow, go in the tomorrow tab. Things that need to be done this week, go in the this week tab. And I don't know, who was it? Simon Sinek talked about that shot of dopamine that you get when you cross shit off the to-do list. And so it makes me feel good seeing everything listed out, and checking every single thing off that I do is what keeps me motivated. So if it's not planned out, I'm not going to do it.
I love that. I actually had that on my list to do, because I saw a post with Melanie Mitro, how she has everything planned out and even color coded and everything. And I was like, I need to do that, because even when I'm on power hour sometime, I just sit there and I'm like, okay, I didn't even get all my invites in, because what was I doing? Because I put off doing the important things sometimes. So I love that.
And I do the same thing for my power hour. There's a checklist through my power hour, but I use a different app for that. But
what app do you use for your power hour?
It is called 3030, the number 30, and then it has a dash, and then it has another 30. Okay. But literally, I go like this. Brooke LaPoff used it, and there's a timer on it for each activity.
Oh, I love that.
So I get 3 minutes to check my Coach Online office. I get 5 minutes for my challenge group, and when the time's up, I move on.
Ooh, will you take a picture of that and post that in Beautifully Made?
Yeah. So
take a picture of all 3 apps you talked about, and then I'll just post about them and beautifully made. That's awesome.
okay.
Love that. But yeah, and then there's even I can't think of the name of it. There's another app that Shalene Johnson talks about that you can actually send yourself text messages. I feel like it's like IIFTT. I can't remember, but it's like an app you can go in and like if you want to do reminders, instead of just reminders on your phone, it literally sends you a text message to do things. So there's so much different stuff. If you need help with that, there's so much stuff out there. Ask us for tips on things like that. But I really, really love that. And Tanner, do you plan out also like important like things like date night and things like that? Do you put everything in there? Yeah, it's so important to put personal stuff in there too.
Yep, Chaz gets that on Fridays and Saturdays. So.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. My last question is, when you do your to-do list, you do that the night before, or do that like the day of, like after your power hour? What are you usually doing for your to-do list? Yeah.
To create a to-do list, I do a brain dump, and I do it every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I write out everything that's in my mind, because if I don't do that, my mind is clogged when I try to start my power hour and stuff. So if I do that, this is all Shalene Johnson. I go and I pick out everything that needs done today, and I go put it in the today. Everything that can be done tomorrow goes in the tomorrow, everything this week, and so on. And if I do, sometimes I don't have to do it every day because it's the same stuff. But if I feel like I have a little bit of fog in my mind at all, I'll just write shit out. And it gets a little repetitive, but it works for me. So.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I got away from, is doing brain dump. And I think doing that before power hour will help me so much, because that's what I find myself doing on power hour is, I don't want to forget to do this, so let me go do that now. And then I'm like doing other things on my computer instead of sending messages. So I encourage everybody to do that. And Shalene Johnson's like, she just has like a yellow legal pad on her bathroom counter, and that's where she puts it, because the first thing she does every morning is does her brain dump. And you could even do that like before you even get out of bed, and whether you do it on your phone or you do it on, have a piece of paper next to your bed and you just have that. It just helps you be more productive. And then having that pad on your bedside table too. Sometimes things go through your mind and you're like, I can't even sleep because my mind is going crazy about all these things I need to do. Write it down, and then you can worry about it tomorrow. And that helps me sleep so much. Is like sometimes when I'm stressing about so much stuff I have to do, I just write it all out, and then it's off of my brain. I won't forget about it, but I'll worry about it tomorrow. So those are some things that help me too.
Yeah. If you guys haven't done the 30-day push, go do it. If you have trouble with any type of organization, goal setting, anything like that, that has like saved my life. I've done it like 3 times.
I know. I'm going to go back and do it again, I think, because it's been so long since I've done it. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I love this. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to get my stuff done. Thank you so much again, Molly. This was perfect. I love it.
Thanks for hopping on, guys.
Yeah, so I will post the recording and oh, sorry, you were like frozen. I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, I said hopefully you don't think I'm a spaz.
Next to me, you were very organized. Don't worry. So have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. And I actually have, let me double check before I get off the here for next week. I have, next week, the 13th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time is our live What is Coaching sneak peek event. I just posted today some people that are helping me host that. Doesn't matter if you're not hosting it, you can invite people to that. It's a live event. It's already created. You invite people. They have to show up and comment on the videos that we're doing. And we're doing quick, short, live videos about what coaching is and inviting people to join us at the end. So that's that. Our Beachbody On Demand Challenge group starts on Monday the 10th. So start talking to people about that. That's the Core to Force Prep group. It's free. They can sign up for a free 30 days of BOD and access that. And also for anybody with my team that doesn't have a challenge group, so like Tiffany, you'll join this. We are hosting a Trick or Train challenge group that starts Monday as well. So anybody that has any questions, just post in the group. I will post this recording later tonight. And thank you so much for hopping on.